Thanks for checking out our video. Feel free to join our free weekly newsletter called Pop Culture Annotated, and also join our Discord server to talk with us and others that share your fandom in pop culture entertainment. Links in the description. When Man of Steel premiered in 2013, for many fans it provided the hope of a new age for DC films. Regardless of making a shared universe to compete with the MCU or not, it was exciting to potentially see the Justice League in live action with today's special effects. However, WB has decided to go another route with their properties after the mixed reception of both Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, and Justice League. And in addition to changing the slate of movies being released, actors are also being replaced in various roles or leaving, whether it is Batman, Deadshot, or even Superman, according to a lot of rumors. To make matters even worse, fans never got to see Snyder's full vision of Justice League, as originally it was a two-part film later condensed into one film, and then Zack Snyder infamously got replaced by Joss Whedon after he had his family tragedy, which drastically changed several parts of the film, according to insiders. And this has infamously resulted in the social media campaign known as basically everyone demanding for the Snyder Cut version of Justice League. However, WB hasn't shown any interest in releasing such a version of the film, assuming it actually does exist after all. So this makes me wonder, why doesn't WB release it through another means? Because the top two options in my opinion would be either a graphic novel or an animated movie, and for the graphic novel route, it would allow Snyder's full vision to be executed without the hassle of paying a visual effects or animation team, or even including that in any budget whatsoever. And this could actually be very beneficial considering both the first and second parts of Justice League could easily be broken up into either several issues in a mini-series, just 2 volumes, or simply just one large graphic novel that has a part 1, part 2 type component to it. And honestly, while you obviously won't do this type of treatment for every unmade version of a film, I think this is kind of a special circumstance just based on the fans' demand for it, and also just how much of it was already actually completed after all. It seems like everything was there, it just needs to be shown to the public, so to speak. And the artist I would actually pair for this would be Jason Fabok, who did a fantastic job on the Justice League series, especially during the Darkseid War storyline. So I would pair him with Snyder, or if Snyder simply wants to do the story instead of doing dialogue and things like that, I actually think Jeff Johns would be a good writer to put on this graphic novel version of the original story, just because he's written Justice League for a lot of years, so he does have experience writing the different characters, whether it is banter off each other or it's just writing them all together as a huge ensemble. He has that experience, and also he probably has experience with Snyder's vision from beforehand, as he was producing most of, if not all, the DC films. But if that's not really the way they want to go, I definitely think the animated movie option would be a great way to go, especially in a sense you could use that to help further promote the DC Universe streaming service. And I'm sure if you say, oh, it's a DC Universe streaming exclusive, the Snyder Cut animated version of Justice League, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to get that subscription service to see it, or at least it's going to be likely one of the most pirated movies ever. But in the animation department, DC movies such as Batman Under the Red Hood, The Death of Superman, Batman The Dark Knight Returns, even the recent Reign of Superman movie, all those, including a pantheon of other movies like All-Star Superman, have cemented for a lot of people that DC animation is no joke, especially with a lot of the successful TV shows, Young Justice, or Justice League the Animated Series, or Justice League Unlimited, Static Shock, Batman Beyond. All those different shows, people know that, hey, when we're watching an animated DC property, it's going to be quality. So I don't think DC would have any stigma issues to worry about with it being presented in an animated fashion, even if it was a thing where they had it animated and for a limited time only they had it in theaters, and then the rest of the time it was just on the streaming service. I don't think they'd have any stigma whatsoever with it. I actually think it would do extraordinarily well. Unfortunately, the only problem with that is it's unlikely the original cast of Justice League would be able to, or maybe even willing to, do voiceover work for this. For a lot of fans, and including myself, I'm kind of in the mindset where, if the main cast isn't going to be able to return to do the voice work for these characters, it kind of defeats the purpose of making it in any film-like fashion. At that point, you might as well just make it the graphic novel version and go from there. But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about all these things? Would you like to see the Snyderverse version? Honestly, in my personal opinion, if they were willing to do it, I doubt it, but if they were willing to, I'd love to see a graphic novel retelling that has basically no arms tied around anyone's back, just strictly what Snyder originally wanted to do for everything. I love to see a new Man of Steel, I'd love to see a new Batman v Superman, I'd love to see a new Justice League, just straight like a mini series of just Snyder cut. I think that'd be really fun for fans, and honestly it might be a really cool and creative way for future filmmakers to really get their version out there while also promoting the comic book industry, considering it's having its own struggles. But comment below your guys' thoughts, what do you guys think about all this, and we'll see you guys later.